Parenting. Hoo-yah! What a topic. No training. From what I see, no freaking manuals that will do a cookie cutter type, one type fits all for any of us. So, I mean, it's so vast, so wide. So how to get it right? Almost impossible. And yet, I've been having some observations on my journey and my journey with Matilda as parents of two wonderful, incredible volcanoes of energy in our 8-year-old and 4-year-old Anya and Elena. And like what we try to do as parents and what we've observed is, for us anyway, what seems to work really well with our kids is allowing them as much freedom to be wild. My definition of wild is without inhibition, living dharma, living life purpose. And this can be testing, this can be challenging. I'm going to give you one example now. It's sort of funny, a little bit freaking disgusting, but to be honest, I'm challenging the part of my head that says it's even disgusting at all. It's just natural. We have a beautiful little yard just down the road at our home, and we have horses, and we have a big dog around the same yard, and so you're going to find a lot of shit in the same yard. Excuse me, number twos, I'm just going, shit. Lumps of shit everywhere. Horses, they're big, they're massive, but it's the dog ones that you have to sort of look out for. In between the trees and different paths, you could step in one, okay? The other week, Anya, our 8-year-old, came to us. She came up to me and she said, "Daddy, would you mind getting, we have this little shovel for cleaning up dog poos. Would you mind getting that little shovel and just cleaning up?" She pointed to a big, massive poo on the ground. She said, "Our dog did it. Sasha did the poo there." I said, "Okay, honey, thanks for letting me know." So I went, I cleaned up the poo, and we tossed it in over the hedge where we normally clean them to. That was cool. No big thing. I forget how it actually came out, but in conversation later on that evening, it came out, as it does with kids, because they want to communicate the stuff. When they test the rules, and if any of you have made a bridge already, yeah, that's the bridge. She tests the rules. It wasn't the dog's poo. It was Anya that had done the shit. Now, part of my head at the time sort of went a little just into overdrive along the lines of, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. That's disgusting. Don't do that again. Blah, 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 blah." Okay? Old style conditioning. The type of conditioning that I think would represent a lot of parents thinking. Their child is after cacking in the backyard. You don't do this. Society doesn't allow this. But then I put on this inner handbrake. I said, whoa. I looked at Matilda and we had a little side chat, and I said, hold on. I mean, she wanted to feel wild. She had an urge. She did it. She didn't follow the rules. And that's what I have observed is a good time to become highly conscious as a parent. I'm not saying there's a right, there's a wrong here. In this specific circumstance, maybe you just go with, that's just freaking disgusting and that should not happen. That's okay. But I'm sort of bringing this into the generalized picture of life. I have observed that our kids are growing really free. They have a level of freedom of expression because they're getting to learn from the experiences. And a lot of the times, this moment, it was a literal shit that they did in the backyard. But metaphorically speaking, they drop shits a lot of different places. In conversation, inappropriate humour, maybe they pop out the odd curse. Yeah, well, they got that from us, didn't they? But there's a lot of sort of behaviours that come out that there are metaphorically shitty little circumstances. But that's part of the learning. That's part of the freedom of expression, and they learn from that. And I believe it's my belief there again, not trying to convince anybody of anything here, but I believe the world is a better place for having people in it that are free, completely free to express themselves as they wish. They want to do a shit in the backyard because they feel free and they follow that urge, and that's an expression of freedom. Break it. They didn't kill anybody. I didn't slip in the shit and kill and break my neck. No, I was fine. So who was I to go with dampening down, with suffocating that expression of freedom? And if you look at society, in schools, in religions, in society, in all these different conversations, billions of conversations that are happening, how much suppression of the freedom of expression is happening of people who are just being human, who are just doing natural things. Sexual expression, you know, expression of beliefs like I'm doing here now. Expression is just different behaviors. Art expression, expressions of poetry, of music, of inner beliefs, expression of dreams. And how, if you really pay attention, there is so much external suffocation going on and people trying to dampen down human expression. In parenting, I don't know, there's no right or wrong and we all have to find our path, but I'm just finding that it's an inner guiding principle of like non-interference. What I've found with our kids and I've seen with other parents, the more freedom of expression that kids are allowed to have, the more they learn. The more they learn to trust their own inner compass, the more free they are to dance, to joke, to laugh, to express. They bring their light into the world, their inner genius, that spark of creativity that the modern education system tends to cut out of them. Like, I mean, Ken Robinson said in his famous TED Talk, like, I think 97% of kids going into school at the age of 4 or 5 are judged as being creative geniuses. 3 or 4% of people that exit high school or secondary school have still a contact with that creative genius. This is catastrophic. And this is why freedom of expression is so important, even in my belief system, if it means that it sort of has you allowing your 8-year-old to do a shit in the backyard. You clean it up, get on with it. It's a freedom of expression. They're learning, they're bringing out that beauty into the world. Might be a bit controversial. That's why I freaking well said it. I'm not here to do these videos to be safe. I'm really fascinated to know what this brings up in you. If you're a parent, what does this bring up in you? Have you any examples, any dramatic examples, any highly emotionalized examples, or do you downright disagree with this? Whatever, the good, the bad, the ugly. There is no good, bad, or ugly. Just feedback. I love just kickstart this conversation. I think it's very important for parents to start looking at the levels of freedom of expression we allow our children. I believe the future of the world is in good hands if the more freedom we can allow them to have. Have a beautiful day. See you on the path. Bye guys. Love you lots.